It's April 28th, 2013, and you're watching Mods on Air.
2 FPS, 3 RPGs, and 5 sim-type games.
Yeah.
I think you'd be able to come up with one here.
I'm actually pulling this one hard.
Ask all the people that need hacks to play Call of Duty. I could hear you groaning inwardly every time Sin's mentioned. You're just cringing.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 375 of Mods on Air, bringing you the weekend gaming news as modders, developers, and gamers ourselves. I am foyleman, and also on the show today I think we're going to have with us Welshy. Hello Welshy, how you doing?
Hello, I'm alive.
Yeah, he keeps running across the street for a beer, and we keep losing him. Also with us today is Ham. How you doing, Ham?
Doing pretty great. Glad to be here.
He's got a color-changing shirt on, apparently. Yeah. We also have with us Stryder. How you doing, Stryder?
Hey, everybody.
And Stryder has internet issues, so he will be bailing on us as well, I think. Anyway.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. So before we begin, let me remind you all that the show is recorded live, and you're willing to join us. We're here on Twitch now, it seems, and the topics, somebody will post a relevant URL into the chat window, but by the time this thing hits the internet, we'll have all the show links on our show page, modsonair.com. And for the links that are posted by other people, I wouldn't be clicking on them or trying to go there. You never know where you end up. You might end up at some right-wing Nazi website. Right, Ham? Finally, For those of you who haven't heard the show before, there may be some explicit language, adult themes, and strong opinions. They may not be yours.
That's what happens when you step out for a pint. You missed like 4 topics.
Yeah.
We're halfway through the show.
So right before the show began, Stryder was asking Ham what is going on with his game. The game that we remember in the last episode, we were taking a look at this game, which he wasn't sure he wants to show off. We think, Stryder and I were talking about this. We think it's a great looking game, and it's going to be a really good game, and we don't know why he doesn't want to talk about it. Tell us, what's going on? Why don't you have your Ham? Why isn't your game out there already?
It's really hot under the spotlight here.
Yeah.
I don't imagine it, so sit there and talk about it now.
So the deal with the game is that I want my game to be a game that looks professional, it looks nice, it looks as if it could have been released by a company that we know produces quality games. And I see too many indie games that have an indie feel. It's like it looks great, but it's lacking something. Whereas you go and look at a game by Capcom or some other big company that makes these nice 2D looking games, and it's like that game is on it. It looks great, and it has all those professional hallmarks. And my game isn't there yet. It's just not there. I want it to sort of appear as if I didn't tell someone, they think it came from a company that's well known, and it's not there. So
well, from what we saw, it looks like the bar is already higher than most that are out there now.
and in fact, I'm gonna make 2 points here, Ham. One is the exact opposite of what you said, where I see a lot of AAA titles that have no substance, have no polish, and it is just it's crappily done. They're released full of bugs, where that's not going to happen. The other thing is a discussion that Foyle and I had on one of our excursion drives while he was up here visiting, and that was you have to release. Eventually, you have to release. I'll tell you one thing. I developed 3 different maps and a mod for the Call of Duty series, and I always didn't release it. Because it was always like, oh, you know what? It's not polished enough. Yes. I want to fix this, or I want to implement this. And, they're still sitting on probably that computer over there waiting. I haven't actually finished them because in my mind, they're not finished. But
I ran
what
the
we
exact
saw,
same thing with the Left 4 Dead maps.
Yeah, with what we saw, it doesn't look too far off from being released. Is just get the functionality there now, because really that polish looks like it's there in the gameplay that we saw. So my advice to you would be is just get it functional now and release it. You have to just say, you know what, this is the release title, this is the release candidate, and we're gonna beta it, and if it works, I'm gonna release it, and if you're going to add stuff to it next, then do it in an update or do it in the 2.0. Whatever you're going to call it. Ham's game 2, the sequel. Ham Heart.
The big things now are I've got to get AI functioning to a point where it's reasonable, where you can play against them and expect a challenge. And the other thing is network play. And so XNA, the XNA framework, the peer-to-peer network play functionality that's built in, I did not know goes through Xbox Live, even on the PC. So if I were to sort of release it and on PC and have people be able to network play, they'd have to have an Xbox Live Gold subscription, which is just absolutely ridiculous. And it's my own fault for not looking into that, because the information is clear as day. Like, if you just look in the right places, it tells you that that's what's needed. But I neglected to look into that, so now I've got to sort of come up with a different network play solution, and I'm pretty much on it. This week I'm going to test it out, and perhaps one of you guys can help me test it out. I'll send you a copy of the game, and we can see if it works.
We have to have Xbox?
No, not with the solution I'm looking into now.
Because I'm not going in the attic for that piece of junk.
I have an Xbox pad for the PC. I can test that way.
Yeah, so you can play it with the Xbox controller or with the keyboard. It works either way. I think it functions a lot better with the keyboard. But this Rumble with the Xbox controller.
Rumble. Awesome.
Yeah, I got that. So
okay. Well, that's our pep talk for you, Ham.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. It's
work harder, damn it.
Yes.
Well, no, not necessarily work harder, but you know what? Just in your mind, you have to say, all right, this is where I want it to be. This is where it is. I don't need it to be. I don't need it to have like a soundtrack that's scored by the New York Symphony Orchestra or anything like that. Although it would be cool, but
it would be cool. It's
no, I get what you're saying. I had the same thing with a couple of other things, but like the Big Left 4 Dead campaign that I took on. Two reasons. One, it ended up being huge.
The gigantic thing you did,
it's more than one. That's a thing that takes like 12 people to do, not one. But the other thing was, literally like that. I would get it to a point where it was like, no, this is good, and then I'd be like, no, it's not quite good enough. And then I'd change things, and then I'd end up reworking the whole level, and it would look pretty much exactly the same, and it'd be like, oh no, it's not quite right. And it's just that thing of, you have to let it go a little bit, I think.
Well, for everybody at home who's wondering what this game might be, I don't want to hype it up too much. It's really not much. If you enjoy playing Bejeweled, you'll probably like playing this game. It's a casual, competitive puzzle game. It's a match 3.
You know what? And it is. It's. I would consider it that exact. That exact description is how I would consider that game, because you could easily walk in, pick it up, set it down. You don't Ham's secret. That
come into the theaters
name it that.
You.
Well,
don't name it that.
It's one of the games that one of us is working on that we can legally talk about. So that too.
I am struggling to come up with a name for it, so maybe once I have a gameplay video, people can help me come up with a name. Maybe it can be called Ham Secret.
Call of Duty. I don't think that's trademarked yet.
Call of Duty. And then it's very small letters at the bottom. Good, now I've got your attention. Here, play this.
Better than Call of Duty.
Yes.
All right. Let's talk about some other gaming news that happened across the internet the past week or so. First of all, we have something here saying that Battlefield 4 has a date to be released, which is supposed to be October 31st, if I'm reading that correctly. That's
weird. Why would they release it a month after the November rush?
Hey, I'm just saying that's prepare and battle.
Oh no, that's before. You know what? They're trying to pop it out 2 weeks earlier than Call of Duty.
October, November. So I guess they're trying to, before Thanksgiving, which is normally the release time. So they're trying to do it, which is about 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
U.S. Thanksgiving's around the 24th.
Yeah, Call of Duty is traditionally released on the Memorial Day week, or not Memorial. What do you sit down there? Up here, it's Remembrance Day. I don't know what it is down there. The Armistice Day weekend, the 11th November.
November.
No, I don't think we have anything.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, you guys have a. It's a worldwide thing.
It's not. I don't think. I think they have a different day for that.
Really?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. 'Cause
we have a Memorial Day at the end of May.
Yeah.
Veterans Day. You guys call it Veterans Day.
Yeah, but it's not on the 11th. It's a different. It's the same idea, but it's on a different day.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
You're playing 11th hour the 11th day?
Actually,
No.
they're releasing on Halloween, aren't they? Isn't that the 31st?
Yeah, October 31st is Halloween, so everybody will be running around with big pumpkin head skins.
Yeah.
God.
Okay.
I kind of don't care.
It's going to have your good old Battlelog 2.0. That's the web browser-based system, remember? It's going to have premium. So if you want premium, this is the time to buy it because, it's going to be a pain to try and figure out how to buy it later on, or you're going to have to buy every piece of DLC separately, so
Which is why I won't even look at this game.
No, that's why I'm just like, I don't really care.
Yep.
I don't know if I will or not. I got to see what's coming out of it. I mean, they're talking about making this with that. They're talking about bringing back that what is that? The commander status. Remember they had that in 2142 where there was one commander.
Yeah, but the days of people playing that the way they used to are gone. No, it's going to be 200 million people playing the commander by sitting there doing nothing. And then you'll get the odd one that will do it properly and like it used to be, but those days are gone, unfortunately.
Well, there's another interesting thing about the poster that they released along with this thing. I think it's a poster. I don't think EB Games just made it up. But the bottom of it reads DICE in the left corner, EA in the right corner, and in the middle it says Xbox and PS3.
Yeah.
Where's the PC?
What? Maybe it's just assumed.
I don't know.
It better be assumed.
I'm just mentioning. It says that the launch is supposed to be on PC, PS3, and Xbox 360, but that poster doesn't say it, so I don't know.
If you look,
that's for EB Games, though, isn't it?
They sell boxed copy. Oh, maybe they don't anymore. Maybe it's only on Origin.
Yeah,
it's not going to be a retail store sale for the PC. So they don't do that, period.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be really worried about buying anything that has the EA name on it because, the amount of people they're binning on a daily basis, how long are they going to be open?
Well, yeah, they're doing all kinds of layoffs and everything, which is a topic jump, by the way. They're talking about how there's layoffs going left and right and how there's restructuring of everything. They're even having somebody new take over Origin.
Great. Zynga.
Origin will move to Frank Gibeau's label organization, whatever that is. So it's it's a complete. It's going to be a complete restructuring, right? More headaches coming out of EA. I don't know.
Here's the thing. Battlefield 3, I liked the way it looked. I hated the premium DLC thing. I pretty much stopped playing it once they released that. I couldn't fork over that much money for a single game. The extended 17 minutes or whatever it is of Battlefield 4 that I saw, it looks great. It's the single player. One thing that a lot of people noticed that was sort of disturbing was that persistently in the upper right corner there was some sort of trophy, or it was some sort of social thing sort of built into the game now where you can't get rid of it. At least it looked like you couldn't get rid of it, and so that was kind of stupid. And it depends upon how they go about it. They've always been great with the Battlefield series in terms of the visual fidelity of it all, but I can't be forced into, I don't know, having Facebook tied to my first-person shooter experience. Plus, who cares about the at the end of it? Who cares about the single-player campaign? Battlefield 4 is a multiplayer game. Show us the multiplayer. So, it was a.
But then they end up just showing you all the things that are, all the old
same.
graphics that are incorporated in it, all the old game mechanics, and how nothing has really changed other than they've given you an environment and a 10-to-1 a trophy that flashes in the middle of your screen every time you kill, die, step, jump, fall down, fart, burp, eat, drink. I am really, really tired of these games that lack substance and quality, and they have to cover that by giving you an award for every time you do something. Stop catering to the 3 and 4 year olds that need that instant gratification in their minds, and cater to the people that are actually buying these games and spending the money on these games instead of pissing them off. Charge you $70 for a game, and then you have to play it because you paid $70 for it, even though you know in your mind it's a piece of shit.
Perfect example of that is Assassin's Creed 3 for me.
Exactly.
The game's not terrible. I'm not going to go out and say it's like the worst game, because it's good enough, right? However, when I bought the game, I got the DLC packs with it as part of the the limited the shit they do, and they just released a third one, and I've quite literally been playing it because I paid for it, no other reason. I played it through, and I finished the third one last night in about 40 minutes, because all I did was just did the story mission.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it was just like, and the whole time I played it, I was just like, please, can this be over now? Can this be done now? It's literally like that. It's like I don't care. I really don't care.
Well, prime example is the
horrible.
DLC. Yeah, prime example is the DLC pack for even earlier than that, for a game that we liked and we were looking forward to, was now I can't bring the title to mind. Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
The main game itself got stale fast, and now you've got a 4-pack of DLC that I haven't even downloaded the last 3 of them. I got the first one,
I haven't even played the first one. I don't think.
but I haven't even downloaded it just because the game it got so stale. And the DLC was stuff that should have been included in the game to start with, especially the first 2 packs, because they were done. If you can offer
Sure.
DLC on release, that should have been included in the game. So
I agree.
I don't like the way that this is all going. And I mean, that's EA's thought, is that they're going to do that to everything. So they're going to sell you a base game that has an incomplete story, and it's an incomplete game, and you have to pay to complete the game. I don't buy that. As a consumer, I don't buy that. I'm going to go to the automotive shop and buy a car. I expect that car to have a steering wheel, a seat, and 4 wheels. At the very least, that's what I expect. No, the 4 wheels are DLC, and we'll release them. You'll get 1 wheel a week for the next 4 weeks, but you got to pay extra up front for that. It's just,
And one of the wheels may or may not work.
exactly. It may break the steering wheel. Like,
Good luck.
what is the purpose of fragmenting a sale like that if it's not just to capitalize on consumerism? The spin that they're putting on it, like, you know what, the marketing teams are doing a great job of selling this to the masses, but eventually the masses have to wake up and say, you know what, we're really getting fisted here, and we're begging to get fisted. What kind of sick people are we? And when that realization hits, there's going to be a lot of people that are just going to have that oh yeah moment, like, wow, I don't really like getting fisted. And you know what? That's when the crash of the game industry is going to happen, because it's going to happen en masse, and it'll be like, wow, this is horrible, and people are going to go back to playing Pong, because at least you know what you get.
I am very glad I did not pre-order Star Trek. I love the Star Trek
I told you.
series,
I told
but I
you,
did
didn't
not
I?
pre-order this.
I told you.
If you take a look at some of the scores for Star Trek, because that's right along where you're coming from, like, people are just giving these companies their money just because they think something good is going to come of it, but then you end up with scores like 3 out of 10, 1.5 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 3 out of 10.
Here's my tip of the week. No, actually, tip of the year, in fact.
Tip of the
Don't
year.
buy movie games. Don't do it. They're always shit.
I have a review here from someone, and they go on to say it's a drably unimaginative third-person shooter, that the enemy AI is horrendously bad, often finding itself hung up on pieces of environment. Watch your AI companion run into walls and refuse to stop running, no matter how many times you command him to do otherwise. And ignores you while you sit there bleeding to death 10 feet away. Sounds like some other games. And there's not really much cooperation required, even though it's a co-op game. A couple more. There's a lame number of go find the missing power cell missions. Let's see. Yes, they have a bunch of voiceovers in there. Some of them are okay, but a lot of them are like, do you need to hit a switch somewhere? Then over and over and over again, Spock or Kirk or both of them will say out loud, where you need to hit that switch. Over and over again until you find the switch and hit it. And then finally you have atrocious animations and lip syncing that hardly ever syncs, and crummy environments.
Why? The trailers made it look good, but then again, there was some dialogue.
Scotty, get us out of here!
There's some trailer.
Can you move forward 15 meters? No good. I have a big wall of green dead ahead. Well, can you move back then? Not so much. I don't know what you two are doing down there, but my job involves very...
Yeah, see, here's Spock. Spock was probably stuck on a crate. That's why it took him so long to get there.
Too much interference. I can't get a lock on you. And we need a bigger gun. Scotty, prepare torpedoes. Fire on my mark.
Well, this video that I have here is not going to start showing some of the flaws in the game. It's just to show you or remind you what the game is supposed to look like.
Mr. Scott, need I remind you that the situation is critical. Time is of the essence.
So, hopefully, no one else out there pre-purchased this game.
That's a shame.
It is.
Foyle, you're looking like you're getting in touch with your feminine side.
What? Why? Because I'm playing Tomb Raider? What's wrong with Tomb Raider? I actually really like that game. I'm really enjoying it.
2 days ago, he's like, I'm cranky and I don't know why. It's like, that's PMX.
I'm guessing that none of you guys are playing it.
No.
So, no.
I played the bit that we played here, and you know, if I was in the mood for a single player game, it's not bad. I like how they make it very cinematic.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing seems ridiculously, complicated as far as the puzzles. There's some intricacy to the puzzles that you have to figure out.
A little bit.
But yeah, I don't know.
It's like the old Tomb Raider, the puzzles. That's what I felt.
Yep.
And yes,
With
it is
some
single player. It is not
upgraded
cooperative.
cinematics and
It's going to be very guided. It's going to give you a slight feel of open world when it really isn't. But the reason they're guiding it so much is that they're telling a story. And I think this is one of the games that in very many years finally accomplishes the idea of telling a story through a game.
Really? What about the Walking Dead game, Telltale?
Oh, that one was just put me to sleep. Sorry,
Really?
I couldn't.
Well,
That one felt
Call of
like they were
Duty
reading a book to
Modern
me.
Warfare 4. That tells a story.
Yeah.
A story of game developers cashing it in. That's a story.
But really, you think it does a great job of blending story and
Yes.
gameplay.
And I think that's one of the reasons why they make it so guided. It's almost as if you get into these tighter areas where they're about to do a cutscene and they force the camera to stay behind you so that when the camera goes into the cutscene, it feels seamless, like you're still in the game but watching this scene, and then it comes right back out with the camera back there and you're back into playing. So I think that plays together very well.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dead Space. That was.
Yeah, Dead Space
that's-
did a good job.
It sounded like.
Did it? I
that
thought
sounds
there
like
was a
Dead
lot
Space.
of micromanagement in Dead Space, at least the first one.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, this one was very much like playing a movie, I guess.
Yeah.
From what I played, where the camera view always seemed like it was, the perfect cinematic position, and if something happened, that camera would fall, like if you're neck deep in water and stuff like that. small details. Actually, one of the small details that I noticed in that game was when she went rolling down the hill and got all covered in mud and slime and stuff, and she's running along a cliff, and then the bottom falls out, and she ends up in the water. I was like, oh yeah, she's gonna be covered in slime. No, the water washed all the slime off. It was just a small detail like that. It was like, you know what, they did a pretty decent job with that.
Okay.
So
I don't think this is Stryder's kind of game. I think it would bore him a little bit.
Yes, it would get old fast. It would get stale fast.
But I've gone through about 70% of the game so far. I know it because it tells me.
Once there's a demo,
your game
I'll give it a
experience
try.
is nearing the end.
All right.
Maybe you can buy the Japanese language DLC and play through it again.
Try it again.
For twice the game. By the way, there was a sale, another sale going on. Where was this sale? Was it on Origin? I can't remember where the sale was. Somewhere out there was a sale this week on Tomb Raider, which made it $25.
Yeah,
Even
it's just
cheaper.
Origin trying to get more money.
Yeah,
Please
but this
buy
has
stuff.
this has a Steam built into it, Steamworks built into it, which means all you have to do is get that CD key, and you're good to go. You just go over to Steam and plug it in, and you're off of Origin.
No.
Oh, don't tell EA that.
Sorry, EA. Cover your ears for that one.
Because now that you've said that, you're gonna have to I know you can't. You got to download it to get your CD key.
Yeah, there is no CD key.
Yeah.
Like the Matrix. Okay. Moving on to another one, Dead Island. Dead Island Riptide is being released, and it's got now. They took it off the market. Now they're putting it back on the market. This idea that if you buy this special edition, they'll send you this torso of a woman like that.
There's nowhere you can put that in your home without it being a creeper.
Now, it is strictly limited production run, so you better hurry. Oh, and on Xbox 360 only. Yeah. Well, this game's coming out 2 days ago.
I caught a review for this. Two things. One, I found it hard to trust a review on a gaming website that has an advert for the game as their backdrop to their entire website. But I don't know. The gist that I'm getting from it is kind of like it's okay, kind of like how the last one was okay.
But the old one got stale. I mean, it was.
Yeah, it is literally more of the same, though. That's what
it looked like. That's exactly what it looked like. More of the same.
They say
it's really not different.
Who is they? VG247 says that it's more of the same.
Yeah, there you go.
At least they gave it a subtitle and not like a part 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess
make
if
it
you
DLC,
like it,
don't make it a standalone. Make it if that's really all it is, it's a DLC.
Mm-hmm.
I think
they said
it is a full. It's like a full length experience again. So to have it as a DLC is a bit crazy, but no, from what I gather, it is literally just kind of like, yeah, this could have just been downloadable content.
Same as Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it's big enough to where you don't want to download it because it's it has to come in its own box. But at the same time, it was like,
bullshit.
It's pretty much the same game.
Because you're saying you don't want to download it because it's too big. Yet people are being forced to download 2 and 3 gig games all the time. Well, what do you think's going to happen with Battlefield 4 on the PC? What happened with the Star Wars: The Old Republic? I mean, that one was freaking huge. Guild Wars 2. You buy the disc, it installs, and you have to download the whole game anyways. So no, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that thought process. I'm sorry. I don't. I think that's, again, taking advantage of the consumeristic nature of North Americans as one, but gamers worldwide, which consumerism is spreading. It's the wave of the future, this whole consumerism thing. I think it might catch on.
it looks like we're getting an average score of 65%.
Wow.
Which means just over half the people don't hate it.
Yeah.
Dead Island, great potential. It can hold your attention for, a few days, but after that, it becomes so repetitive.
That was exactly, you know what? That's exactly how long I played it. It was like 2 or 3 days, and it's like, you know what? It was cool. It was like, yeah, this is awesome. And then, this is kind of the same thing.
Same.
Didn't I just beat you up? Like,
eventually the whole weapons degrading, like they would break over time and stuff, kind of started to annoy me. It'd be like you'd spend ages collecting all the stuff you needed to make like a really cool barbed wired electric baseball bat, and then it would break after like 2 hits, and you're like, oh, that was fun.
Let me go all the way back to the start so I can fix it.
It was just like,
yeah.
All right then.
And I don't know, because a lot of good games have sort of repetitive gameplay, but you've got to introduce new things to vary that gameplay, to keep it interesting, keep it fresh, make those challenges exciting, and this just didn't do it.
Yeah, don't just regurgitate the same. You need to go find the power crystals over and over, or Skyrim. Come up with some other reason why you can't do this quest, rather than you took an arrow to the knee. Like,
yeah. I mean, you've got creative people on your staff. Just challenge them to come up with something.
Nobody wants to lose their job.
It's like, all right, why? What is the compelling reason to get the player involved in this story, personally vested in this story? What is the compelling reason that he wants to do this? Well, because I took an arrow to the knee. You know what? That's great. Run with it. Every time that you need him to do something, took an arrow to the knee. Next. Like, and then the guy that came up, he's sitting in a bar somewhere right now, drunk out of his tree, thinking, I'm the one that came up with the arrow to the knee thing, and they let me go after that. I should have asked for more money on the contract. I came up with the arrow to the knee thing. That was me. That's a true story too.
Where are they now?
Where are they now? Actually, that would be a funny little skit to put together. Welshy, get on that. Just a shaky cam video of some dude sitting there. I came up with the arrow to the knee thing.
Is he a Nam vet? Is that where we're going with this?
Okay. All right. Moving on to another one. This one I put it in here for Welshy, because I know he likes Metro 2033.
He likes Metro everything.
Yeah, and this one's coming with a free copy of the novel.
Because I don't already own the novel.
Okay, so there you go. I guess anyone who's really interested
in those with one of those confounded 20th century inventions, otherwise known as a book.
How do those
book? The fuck's a
remember
book?
those? Remember those things? They were like about this. They varied in size, and some of them were thick, and you had to like physically pick it up.
It's like the internet written down.
Yeah, and you have to like hold them, right? And there was like all the information, right, was on different pages, so you had to like turn the pages like this.
Oh yeah, you just swipe to turn the pages.
No,
right?
no, it was before swiping. You had to like physically.
It was
grab
before.
It
was like alpha swiping.
But yeah, Metro. Yeah, if you haven't played the first game, seriously, go out and buy it. It is really good. That's pretty much what I got up there.
Right.
And
now if you buy,
I've talked about it before.
Now if you buy it on Steam, you get a copy of the 2033 novel,
which is different to the game. Similar but different.
Yeah, because one's written down and the other one has joystick.
Now there was some other news going on about this that I caught somewhere else that suggests that they want to also release an SDK for the game, which leads us to believe they want people to mod it or license it.
Probably license it.
License
Don't
the
know.
engine.
It says they want to release an SDK for Metro, and finish the extremely promising multiplayer component.
Ugh.
Investigate PlayStation 4.
Why?
What part of that was the lie? Where did the lie begin in that? Everything after finish.
Finish, yeah. It's just why? Why do you have to do a multiplayer component? Why? Why is it not good enough
they want
these
to cash
days?
in on the Call of Duty fame. That's what
I know, it's like, why is
chasing
it
that
not good
Call of
enough
Duty
these days
tail.
to have a decent single player game that has a well thought out, well designed... Why is that not enough? Why do we have to have like some sort of shitty team deathmatch game mode? That's not the reason I would buy this game. The reason I would buy this game is because I enjoyed the book and I enjoyed the game. I want to play more of the story, not multiplayer.
Why do they feel forced to put it in? I don't.
Because I suspect it's very much to do with the publishers. That are like, oh, yeah, but so when you're doing the multiplayer and they all go, we haven't got multiplayer. Oh, well, then you should do a multiplayer. And it's like, well, why? And it's like, well, no, because we can sell more copies that way.
I mean, I suppose you're right. It's just.
I hate it. It just annoys the hell out of me. Like, Mass Effect was another reason, another one even, where the third game came out and like, oh, we're having multiplayer, and literally about 100,000 people went, oh god. So, and I genuinely think I haven't played the multiplayer in Mass Effect because I refuse to, but from what I hear, it isn't too bad. But I genuinely think the third game suffered from having it, because they spent some of the time they maybe should have been doing on an actual ending. It just annoys me.
Can't find the words.
No, it's like I can't even. My brain will explode.
Oh, keep trying then. I want to see that.
All right, another game that probably isn't going to end up on your buy list because it's going to be for the PS3, but Dust 514.
PS3.
PS3.
Yep.
Why wouldn't it make something for the PS4?
I don't know, but this is going to be an extension of that game EVE Online, so maybe that tells you why. But this is going to be a first-person shooter, 32-player battles, stuff like that's going on. I just wanted to bring up that this is supposed to be a game that is starting to get a lot of press as far as... I don't know, as far as what.
EVE was extremely popular.
Yeah, I never liked it, but it was, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't care for it much either, but I know Foxhound was right into it, and yeah, it was extremely popular. I don't know, it was one that had its own. You can't really say it was a cult following, but it definitely had a strong following, and it was a subscription-based model, and yeah, I believe they did quite well with the.
Was it an RTS?
Sorry?
Was it an RTS or was it?
FPS.
FPS.
No, this one's an FPS. What was the other one?
Oh, the other
one.
one.
FPS as well.
The other one's EVE Online is
the other one was like a strategy game.
It's a space sim. It's a space sim.
Yeah,
MMO.
like a.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, but you used RTS, FPS. It was not an FPS. It was an MMO. The subscription base on it was, and it had an economy that worked and everything like that. It was, I don't know.
It was an MMORPG.
Yeah, RPG. That's the one I'm looking for. Too much rum punch slows down the neuroreceptors of the brain, making you incapable of
functioning,
recalling certain things.
It was released in 2003. That long ago.
Yeah,
it was 10 years old. It's still immensely popular. The complexity of it is so great that, unless you want to get involved in a complex game and play one game for the rest of your life, it's probably best that you not even bother.
I seem to remember playing the demo of it, and I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah.
I tried to give it a chance. It's just, I don't know. Maybe you can say I've got ADD. I'm a victim of modern game design, but there was not enough to keep me going. It was the tutorial back when I played it starts off with like teaching you how to mine asteroids or something, and I was just like, this is boring.
Yeah,
This
I
is
seem
so
to,
boring.
and none of it was voice acted. I don't think so. It was like it was just complete silence the whole time. It was just
Like the Star Trek
okay.
game. Again,
Yeah.
another failure.
with more load screens than I've ever seen in anything. Like Windows 98 had less loading time than that game.
Well, this game's going to release in about 2 weeks on May 14th.
But surprisingly, it's free to play. It is a free to play PlayStation game. So, yeah.
PlayStation, though.
Yeah.
PlayStation.
So that's nice. What's interesting is that if this were released on Xbox, they pretty much couldn't release it because Microsoft wouldn't allow anybody to play multiplayer games. Yeah.
For free? Nope.
Oh. So it just shows you the direction they're going in, the two different directions.
All right. Well, so far we've bashed on EA and Deep Silver and
Yeah, but I mean, EA, like they deserve it.
yeah. Well, I'm just
Who
leading
we
up.
missed in here?
We've missed Activision. Activision
yeah.
and good old Bobby Kotick. Okay. So what's
yeah, that guy.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring up Bobby Kotick here because apparently, I don't know what's going on in here, but it says here that he gave himself a raise. Is that what I'm reading?
He deserves it.
Yeah,
Clearly.
deserves a couple things.
Yeah, so but the raise is what is interesting. Last year he decided to make 8.3 million.
Mm-hmm.
Working at EA and spreading all this wonderful news.
Activision.
His base salary in 2012 was $2 million, but he gave himself a $2.5 million bonus.
Because he did such a good job.
Yeah. He deserves it.
Notice how nobody else gets a raise in that company.
Yeah, they all get fired.
Yeah.
That's how he can afford those raises.
But last year, they say, probably also because he sold some stock, he earned $64.9 million.
He's like the king rat on a ship that has hit the iceberg. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna sell off everything I can. I'm gonna rape this company for as much as I can, and I'm gonna jump ship right before this sinks. And what's gonna happen is Call of Duty is, I mean, we already know that that's their only title that's making them any money. Take a look at their investor returns. That's the only title that's making them any money. And realistically, it's making less and less on an annual basis. Yet their development costs are going up and up every year because they're trying to just Hollywood the shit out of it rather than give you any substance or new gameplay. So that series, that title is dying. It's dead. It's 3/4 buried, and this greaseball knows it, and he is just going to jump ship with all the cash right before the last shovel load of dirt is put on top of this pile of manure that should have been buried a long time ago. He's going to be gone with all the cash, and all you guys are going to be sitting there, and that's when you'll start saying, oh, this is so horrible. What happened to our... Well, look at what is happening to it now and realize that he's just milking you guys. You've handed him your wallets.
Well, Bobby Kotick believes that there is 5 more years left in Call of Duty then. Because that's how long this contract is for.
No, that was in 2012 he signed that. So 2017 will be the...
Yep.
2017 will be the last...
4 more years.
Yeah.
2 more editions, right? Or
3.
Or at least... Really? I don't know if they decided to still do that one every year.
And now he's trying to get 3 different titles out every year. Because he's, why just charge him $70 a year when we can make 210?
Oh, right.
Well, exactly.
The hardest thing is just to try and come up with all the little gadgets and knickknacks and whatnots to include. If you buy the special edition for 10 times the price.
Lego dude. Yeah. It won't be long. There'll be Lego Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I still want to do Grand Theft Lego. That would be Matt, that would be so fun.
Yeah.
Well, you could be this other idiot. This
There's another
veteran.
idiot?
Yeah, there's another idiot. What the hell is his name? Charles Cox. It's appropriate. He's now sworn off the idea of ever developing another first-person shooter. There's too much violence. How can you push that kind of stuff on families, right? It's horrible.
So in other words, your
I was
game
going to agree with him until you gave me the reason. Because I can see a lot of developers going, you know what, I'll never work on a first-person shooter again because we just made the same game for 6 years.
That's not it.
But no, that's not the reason. Okay, continue.
How can you push this on families? You shut up, you idiot. It's not meant for families. It's not. Who said it was meant for families?
For 6-year-olds to train them on how to be a murderer.
Yes, that's what it is. He thinks they're all simulators. Yeah.
You know what I take out of this? Your game sucked. No one bought it. Wah wah wah. And so now I need to call attention to it and say, you know what? You didn't buy my game. Now I'm going to rage quit the whole industry.
That's exactly what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what he's worked on? He's worked on SWAT, SOCOM, and what's MAG?
Man, I think it's a PlayStation.
Oh, that was that massive action game that just never went anywhere. SWAT was good though, and I think SOCOM didn't do too bad. But I know MAG just tanked completely. It was going to be that like game we could have like 128 players on the PlayStation, and I think I
and
played
16
it,
on and 16 on the Xbox.
yeah. No, I think it wasn't even on the Xbox because they just couldn't get it to. And I do remember playing it, I think, and it was just like either it was so laggy you just couldn't play, or I did play and just sat on a hill with everybody else for like an hour and shot people as they walked through a door.
Oh my goodness! It's a sad
excuse.
It just angers me. That reasoning angers me so much.
What's angering you, I sense.
It's just, if you feel as if these games are being pushed onto little kids, then why don't you have something in the game, like at the very start, that says like warning for parents and guardians?
It's called an ESRB rating.
That shit doesn't work. We know it doesn't work.
It doesn't because people ignore it. There you go, it's their fault for ignoring the rating system. It's like going to a movie and taking a 17-year-old into an 18-rated movie. That is your fault. You took them in. Not the people that made the movie. That's not their fault.
Or buying your 16-year-old a carton of cigarettes, sure.
Yeah, exactly. That's not the people that made the cigarettes.
Right, so this guy, if this guy is not gonna make any first-person shooters because of that reasoning, then he should boycott all R-rated movies because they're being pushed on families and any adult novels or anything that has to do with adults and that has violence or sex or anything like that in it. Then he should just boycott it all because apparently
if he's going to do that, then he should just join the new West Baptist Church or whatever it is down there.
Westboro Baptist Church.
Yeah,
Westboro Baptist. Yeah, why didn't just go join that? Go float over there with the rest of the nutbags because that's where they congregate in the nutbag central there. So yeah, go and shut the fuck up.
See, I can see the whole I don't want to work on first-person shooters because I'm tired of them.
Right. He does
I
mention
agree with
something
that.
like that.
Totally. If you're, I could see a lot of people just being like, I'm done making.
Well, actually,
Call of Duty Clone 6.1.
No, I shouldn't say that. He kind of said that. He said that he's tired of working so hard, long hour development demands. He doesn't like all these long hours developing on these games, which is going to happen in any game.
Yeah.
One, you're in the wrong industry. Two, that says directly to me that it's probably related to the Massive Action game that it did absolutely nothing and went absolutely nowhere, and he's blaming it on this. Oh yeah, I'm done. You know, we didn't make any money. I don't even know if that game got released. Actually, thinking about it.
Let me Google that for you, good sir.
Google away.
Zipper Interactive.
Because I remember them
titled Massive Action game.
Yeah, there you go. I remember them
released in Australia and New Zealand in 2010. Europe in 2010. Yeah, it was released in 2010.
Okay.
So it was released, but it obviously didn't. It didn't do anything.
PlayStation 3
might
only.
as well. I'd have been.
All that hard work and nothing came out of it. So maybe
because you
should
developed
try it.
a game for the PS3. That's why it was hard work and annoying.
Well, not necessarily. I think it's just it wasn't very good. It's like whatever platform that went on, it just wasn't very good. Yeah, it's the same as like blaming the piracy on the fact that your game didn't sell many copies. It's like no, it was just a terrible game.
I think you're right. People just rage quitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you're interested in rage quitting Steam soon. Steam is going to start offering some subscription service plans. Well, actually not for their games, but for any game that wants to have subscriptions, you can now get it through Steam. Because in the past you always went to Steam and were like, okay, I'll buy a game. But then you'd have to go to the manufacturer's website to subscribe to their monthly service.
I have a conspiracy theory on this. EA's store is failing so hard that they need to try and figure how to implement their model, their business model, because EA has come right out and said, we are going to microtransaction you out the ass.
Yes.
You will have to insert your wallet into our hands, and we will insert our fist in your ass
for every future
time
game they
you
make.
purchase an EA game.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the EA credit card.
And EA's store has failed so hard, and EA's download service has failed so hard. Origin is a pile of shit. So they yarded all the EA games off of Steam because they want to integrate them into the EA store, and it didn't work. So now they've reached some sort of a legal agreement with the Valve to say, okay, we would like to put this on here, but this is what we would like to see incorporated. And the lawyers have all gotten together and said, okay, yes. So what's going to happen is that's going to be basically for EA's model. That is my conspiracy theory spin on this whole shit that just went down.
Do you want to blame something on the government as well while you're there?
Nope, but that's, you know what? I think that is what happened. And all of a sudden you're going to see a whole bunch of EA titles mysteriously reappear on the Steam library. Because you remember when they yarded them all off of there?
Yeah,
I do.
And then I do remember a couple of months ago there was a very sort of subtle news post somewhere that was like, EA in talks with Valve about getting some games back on Steam.
What do you want to bet that Battlefield 4 is going to be available on Steam?
I don't know. It's their
I don't know.
pig.
I don't think so.
No?
Nope. We can put money on that, and we can have a whole thing, and I don't think so. Nope.
Because Valve already has their model of, if you want to charge for DLC, here's how it works, and then they're all over that. By the what do they call them? They're not DLC packs. They're gold memberships or whatever that give you 1 year of free DLC, which is so coincidentally going to have one piece of DLC every quarter.
Something pass.
Oh, the season pass thing?
Yeah, the season pass.
Does it?
Yes. So they've already got that. Why would they add something that's going to allow for microtransactions and subscriptions?
Well, is it that, or is it just things like games that have separate subscriptions? So like MMOs and whatever. Are they just gonna? Is it just that they're just gonna now let you pay for that directly through Steam?
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought it was.
But what Steam title has a game like that where you have to? I don't see a Steam title that's out there
Well,
that has an external monthly fee.
there's
I've seen a few.
let's say you pick up Rift and you buy it through Steam. You still got to go to Trions or Trions, whatever.
They didn't make that free?
Name.
I thought they made that free.
No, it's like free in Korea or something, but everywhere else they charge you.
Everything's free in Korea except
So you just
your government.
Except your rights.
But
Everything's free in Korea except you.
if you want to manage your account, you have to go to Trions.
That's it. I'm getting that on the t-shirt.
I wonder if you can play Rift with the Oculus Rift. Totally off.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Not
just
interested.
Going back to it slightly, there is a few games on there. I've definitely seen, like, if you go on a Steam store and they've got a giant banner at the bottom that's like, this game requires a subscription.
Okay, so but do you see Valve, especially knowing how Valve works, and you know how they say, yeah, we're doing this, and then you turn around and say, well, we thought you were doing this, and it's like, yeah, well, we didn't say when. It's going to be 4 or 5 years from now, but you know, Valve time's Valve time. Do you think they would invest that much into a completely different facet of their service that they provide for 2 or 3 titles?
No. You
Even
think
if
they're
it's
coming up
10
with their own
titles?
games that are going to be subscription based? Is that what you're trying to get at? They're getting ready to release one?
I don't
does
know that
seem
they're
like a
getting
large
ready to
amount.
release one, but I think that they're prepared for what's going to happen. Which,
Yeah,
like I
it
said,
does seem like a huge amount of effort to go to just for like 3 or 4 titles that are already on their store.
I think they
that
want to
really-
approach Star Wars or something like that, one of those developers, and say, hey, we want to sell your game on Steam.
It's the EA titles, and that's what it is. You're gonna see what's gonna happen is, and again, don't take this as gospel. This is my theory. You're gonna see Battlefield 4 available on Steam. You'll get Battlefield 3 as part of it, as a special incentive bonus if you buy now or pre-order it or some shit. And there's going to be a monthly fee for it because that is what EA wants to do with their titles.
Here we go, I found one. Final Fantasy, was that 11? That was 11.
The new one.
Subscription. No, that's not the new one. So
Yeah, they're up to like 20 something, aren't they?
13 and a half, I think.
Nothing says Final Fantasy like Final Fantasy. Final kind of means the end, but this is part 26.
Yeah, well, they're not connected. Well, some of them are actually. That's not true anymore, is it? I don't know. I lost interest after 10.
Yeah.
10, I was done.
9 was my last try.
It's clear this is
10,
not ending.
10 was
It's clear this is an unending Final Fantasy.
10 was awesome, and then 11 was the MMO, and then 12 sucked, and then 13 also sucked.
Yeah.
Sorry, we are far afield.
Yeah, the subscription. Click and buy. Let's see. It doesn't say where you got to go though.
Well,
I assume it's off Steam.
Here's how it worked. So Steam has an MMO section where you can buy MMO games. On the store page, it says that this game requires a credit card and you have to pay a monthly fee. But you can sort of tie your Steam, or you can tie the credit card on your Steam account to pay these monthly fees. But to manage your account, you would still have to go to the company's website to manage whatever preferences or things you want to take care of. This new Steam subscription thing basically means that you don't have to even go to a company's website anymore. If they've done the back-end work, now you can do all your account maintenance right through Steam. So that's sort of the big deal. You no longer have to go to a different website.
That being said, though, it seems like a lot of effort to go to just for like, say, 10 titles.
Yeah, I'm supposing they're gonna hope.
Like either,
that
I think that like Stryder's onto something there. Whether it's EA titles or not, I'm not gonna go that far and say. But there's definitely whether maybe Valve's bringing something that's gonna be like extreme microtransactions.
We need Sin episode. Sin episode. Pay now. There's a monthly fee.
Never play.
There's more content coming. We promise. We promise.
Right, exactly,
It's
yeah.
monthly. We promise.
Sin episodes. I think maybe probably earlier this year I finally installed it and played it all the way through. And it was because I never played it like all the way through. I played like it for 15 minutes. It started off sucky, ended pretty okay. It had potential, but they just made the beginning too bland. And well, the rest is history. They got bought and casual
that
games
other game
now.
you played that Welshy that it started off okay, but it ended the exact opposite.
Homefront, was it?
Homefront.
Is that it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, you love that game, right?
Fucking hell. Oh my god. That is my sin episode for you guys. That's my Vietnam.
That might be it. No. It had so much
You weren't there,
potential,
man.
and it just ended horribly.
You weren't there. I've seen things.
I've seen things.
That game was god awful.
All right, guys, we've done our hour. Is there anything else you want to bring up before we do a wrap?
We're gonna wrap.
Yes, Welshy, throw us a funky beat.
I'm not allowed to. A court order says I must.
Court order says I can't rap anymore. 2 kids got shot at my last time I was rapping.
Too dangerous.
All right, since you guys have nothing you want to bring up, unless you want to bring up anything about Arma.
Oh,
Arma.
yeah.
Arma. Gotta say it with a
yeah.
Boston accent. Smama.
Arma.
Arma.
Do we want to give it away?
Give it away now.
Or do we?
Still rapping.
Yeah.
Next show.
Next show. Okay.
Throw out a teaser.
All right.
We may or may not have some Arma 3 Alpha Light keys to give away next episode. Tune in.
And by may not, he means
Will.
By may not mean I redeemed them and sold them for money.
So much for teasing. Okay. Come back next week and get some.
Will the
Yeah,
codes be
come-
given
come
away?
get some.
Tune in next week.
yeah, the announcer voice.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
All right. So on that, I guess I'll thank our.
That would lose so much, that whole same bat time, same bat channel, if it was like with a Boston accent or with a. I don't even know if I could do that.
Boston.
Amma.
Oh, Rhode Island. It's got to be a Rhode Island accent, I think, if it has anything to do with
Rhode
that. Okay. I'm going to say thank you to our host for taking the time out to chat today. Thank you, Welshy, for joining us and staying.
No problem. Yeah, got the crash out the way early.
All right. And Ham, I was very disappointed in no shirt changing, but thank you for joining us.
This must be broken. You're welcome. I'll look
Rage
into
quit
it.
the shirt, man. Rage quit the shirt.
Yes. And thank you, Stryder, for joining us today during the show.
Hey, it's always an adventure on Sundays.
It is something else, isn't it? All right. On that note,
It's
I'm
always
going.
something.
It's always a reason to get out of bed on Sunday.
If it's not Mods on Air, it's something else, just so you guys all know.
All right, I'm going to finally thank you, the fans of MODSonair.com and the subscribing members of ModsOnline.com. And if you're not, be one. So until next weekend, everyone, go out, play some games, have some fun. Bye. Thanks for watching this week, and come back next week when we will broadcast another live show. Details for this and all past episodes can be found at ModsOnAir.com. We welcome your feedback via email at mailbag@ModsOnAir.com. And please consider subscribing to ModsOnline.com to support our show. The opinions expressed by individuals on this program are not necessarily the opinions of our sponsors, owners, or partners.
That's horrible.
The hell's going on?
Man, where is that kid? I'm really starting to
Making
worry.
pancakes.
Take
Making
my
bacon
sandwich,
pancakes.
Bimo. I'm gonna
Same
go find
idea.
a dancing bug. Hey, man, you're shaking it all wrong.
But shaking it's all I know.
Let me show you how it's done.
For the next 25 minutes.
This is.
Have I just accidentally taken LSD? Is that what's just happened?
That's, you know what, I was just going to say, this is a cartoon show that is designed for people that are still on an acid trip.
Yes.
Still.
And acid was so 90s, man.
There you go. 25 more minutes. I'm gonna sit here for the whole thing.
Which means you all have to sit here for the whole thing.
That would just be the worst ever episode of this. Just that.
Yeah,
25
we
minutes.
have no internet, so we can't talk about any topics. So, here, watch this.
Wait, what? And we're not even going to sit here and make jokes. We are literally just going to sit here and look back at you like this.
Yeah, get up close so they get the eyeball cam.
Just at one point, there's one of us just texting. Do a Leo Laporte and just start
Yes,
eating like
a plate of
the
spaghetti.
foods you can find. I'll sit for the whole time side on, so you just see the side of my head.
Looking out the window.
Oh, Morphus is cracking already.
All right.
Oh, that's
Keeps
it. That's
going.
in Nazi Germany where they come in and they seize your TV. Oh, different seizure. Uh-oh.
Okay. I'll let you off the hook. Everyone,
Speaking of Nazi
have a
Germany.
good week. Enjoy. And watch out for commercials because they do come.